welcome to another great episode of EDW HQ. I am your host, the voice of EDW, Simon Brown. My guest host for this show.
And my name is G. John Chase, the wrestling genius, the professor of professional wrestling, and the manager of the future, and the only man in EDW who looks good in leather. It is your pleasure, Simon Brown, to have me on your show today.
Let's get straight into it, guys. The last show, live back at the Hive, EDW's Night of Infamy. A lot of controversial issues, a hell of a lot to talk about tonight, guys. Let's kick it off. Let's hear straight from the man himself, Mr. Thomas Campbell, our EDW Commissioner, about the events that closed EDW Night of Infamy surrounding the EDW World Championship. Let's hear what he's got to say straight off the bat.
Commission's back, baby! Oh, can't leave you for 1 minute, can I, honestly? I ain't going away again. Promising you that right now. Let's address a few things from Night of Infamy. Lots of people are walking around crying that they deserve this and they deserve that. As the Commissioner, I decide who deserves what. I am locking down the #1 contender positions for our championships. The next person to get a shot at Joey Starr's Open Championship is going to be Mark Morgan. No arguments. Looking at you, Cruz. The next person to get a shot at Jamie Future's EDW Championship is going to be the man who was robbed of it tonight through shenanigans that you'd expect from the Players Club. The next shot is going to Edwards. Now, if you fancy a preview of the title pictures for the rest of the year, how about coming along to October the 19th show, where we will have Edwards teaming up with Mark Morgan to take on the Open Champion Joey Starr and the EDW Champion Jamie Future.
Words there from Tom Campbell. Now, to recap from EDW's Night of Infamy, main event, the new champion, Jamie Future, was to take on the former champion, Edwards, in Future's first title defence. Now, the match went back and forth, absolutely fantastic match. Jamie Future, at one point in the match, got a little bit frustrated, took his frustrations out on the referee at the time, James Henshaw, hitting him with his patented DDT, the same DDT that won him the belt. Head referee David Mitchell came down to carry on the match. Edwards scored the pinfall over Jamie Future, looking like he'd once again regained his EDW World title. David Mitchell counted the 1, 2, 3. However, shortly after that, the referee in charge at the beginning of the match, James Henshaw, interjected, reversed the decision, proclaiming that while Edwards was the winner by disqualification, the title cannot change hands on a disqualification measure. So still the champion, Jamie Future, and he retained the EDW World title as Night of Infamy closed out. Mr. Chase, after all that happened at the last show, you obviously saw the match, controversy. Do you think that maybe there should have been a little more leeway given the importance of the match? Do you think that that was the right decision?
There is so much controversy over this match, but yet, let me tell you right now, it's clear as day. Okay? The original referee, the referee of the main event, James Henshaw, made the right call. It was a disqualification. And it was not the business of David Mitchell to continue with the match and to give the eventual win to Edwards.
Well, as we just heard from Tom Campbell, it appears that Edwards is still the #1 contender given the circumstances, and he also made it official. Mark Morgan is now the #1 contender for the EDW Open title, much to the chagrin of the Players Club and Joey Starr. So, at EDW CrossFire, Friday, October the 19th, live back at the Hive, we have got a tag team main event like no other. That's going to involve the two #1 contenders, Edwards and Mark Morgan, are going to take on the EDW Open Champion Joey Starr and the EDW World Champion Jamie Future. That's going to be a phenomenal match, guys. However, just when it seems like Tom Campbell has the Players Club backed into a corner, they seem to have wound something up, got through a little loophole again, launched a preemptive strike on Mark Morgan. We're going to take you now to exclusive footage and show you what exactly happened involving Mark Morgan. And after that, we're going to hear words from our EDW World Champion, Jamie Future.
Kick his ass! Get him up! 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 Throw him into the van! Into the van! Run! Oh! Yeah! You want my title? You little prick! You got my fucking nuts! You little prick! Get him up! Get him up! Get him again! Get him again! Throw him into the van again! Into the van again!
a pressure position, being the ultimate. But somehow, some way, Jamie Future finds a way, and despite subjective referees' decisions, Jamie Future is still the EDW World Heavyweight Champion, still the man that makes everything happen.
Wait. Man, everything happens. I was once that person when I was champ. Okay? I'm gonna tell you guys something right now. And that is, to you and to you, I have a great idea for this. How about we skip Edwards? Skip Edwards out of the equation. He's came, you saw, he lost. Okay?
True.
He's done. He's finished. Okay? How about this idea? How about Future versus Gunn?
Tommy.
For the EDW World title.
Tommy.
Come on, it'll be
Tommy.
great. It'll be great, right? It'll be awesome because literally
Tommy.
that belt will stay in the players' club.
Tommy. We've talked about this before. No civil wars.
Tam,
no civil wars.
But Tam, you know it makes sense.
No.
It stays in the players' club. Me and Future for the belt.
No civil wars. You support him just like he supported you. Alright? Your time will come again sometime in the future, I guess. But it's Future's time right now. We keep the belt. Same playing field. Okay? Okay. Back to business! You see, Tom Campbell's made the match for October 19th. The EDW Open Champion, the Genocide Machine, Joey Starr, who couldn't be here today because it's chest day, and the EDW World Champion, Jamie Future, against the #1 contenders for the respective belts, Mark Morgan and Edwards. Now, I'll get to Edwards in a second, but I want to say something to you, Morgan, because you don't seem all too smart, Mark. See, the fact of the matter is you were made famous in EDW because you got beat by me in February. Last month we kicked your ass and threw you out the front door, and still you don't get the message. So here it is. I'm going to tell you right now, or you shouldn't show up on October 19th. See, this here, the Players Club, is a dynasty with a commitment to excellence, a legacy of greatness, 3 world titles, and 1 open title as well. We are Major League! Whereas you, Morgan, you're more like the Jimmy Savile of EDW because you're going to spend your entire life in the minors. Oh, and one more thing. Nice dye job, faggot! And by the way, Campbell, I know that since you've decided to dangle the carrot in front of Edwards, hold the brass ring above his head, he's supposed to get another title shot. Why don't you, Edwards, ask his dumb brother Joey Sanchez how easy it is to get a match with me if I don't want it? So I'll say this. Edwards, on October 19th, I will come to the Hive to beat you just to prove a point, but my mission is to make sure that your little pipe dreams of having another title match don't come to fruition. You will not walk out of CrossFire on your own power, and the lesson of October 19th, Edwards, is that you will not spin Dr. History when it's written by the winners.
Now, last month, I got to step in the ring with Jamie Future one-on-one for the first time in quite a while. And I did everything I could. But here I am, sitting here, and there's no title on my shoulder. So, here we are. It kind of feels like I'm back where I started. I'm back where I started because I gave everything I had, and what happened in the end was, frankly, as far as I'm concerned, I had him. In every way. It was over. 1, 2, 3, that title should be mine. The EDW title really does mean the world to me. On so many levels. And I promise you that I will get it back. But it's going to take me time. Okay? Because I have to prove to myself, to you, to Campbell, to everyone that I am ready to step in that ring and take it back. No matter any poor refereeing decisions. No matter any tricks the Players Club might want to pull. And when that time comes, I will take it back. But October 19th, CrossFire. The Players Club put forward 2 of their guys. The Players Club put forward Jamie Future, and I am so happy to get my hands on him again. They put forward Joey Starr. Fair enough. And supporting me, the guy who saved me, huh? He saved my ass last show, Mark Morgan. And it is a privilege to be wrestling alongside Mark Morgan at this show. Okay? Now, I first of all have to apologize for Mark Morgan because, to my understanding, after last show, Mark Morgan was accosted by the Players Club. I didn't find this out until I got home. Okay? And I had a long train journey to get home. By the time I got home, I was told Mark Morgan was accosted, and where the hell was I? He was there for me that show. I was not there for him. So, Mark, I promise you that at CrossFire, I got your back. I absolutely got your back. I owe you to non-CrossFire. I'll take a bullet for you if I have to. Now, Mark's hurt, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. Mark's hurt. I've spoken to him. He says he's going to be there. I sincerely hope that he is. If he isn't, so be it. I'll go in there. I'll take a bullet for him anyway. Just because there's no titles on the line doesn't mean there isn't pride on the line. Because right now, sitting here in this chair with this old goddamn shirt in my hand, my pride is the only thing I have left.
With 1,000 lies and a good disguise, hit 'em right between the eyes, hit 'em right between the eyes. When you walk away, nothing more left. Here we go.
Tyler Hazard, you've been saying a lot of nasty things about me on the internet, haven't you? Saying that I don't give you a chance. Saying that Joey Sanchez is my golden boy. Tyler, I didn't give you a chance because, you know, now we're not friends, I can kind of say this to you. You're not that good. So, you decide to pick on Joey Sanchez. You decide to blindside him, attack him, and generally cause problems in his life. So, what I've decided is I'm going to give you both a chance to let off a bit of steam at the next show. October 19th, we're going to see Joey Sanchez take on Tyler Hazard in a no disqualification, no count-out submission match. So, Tyler, if you fancy using that fancy little Texas cloverleaf, oh yeah, I know my jargon. If you fancy using that Texas cloverleaf on Joey Sanchez the next show, you're welcome to. I'm pretty sure he's got a few choice moves to try out on you too.
So there you have it, guys. Tom Campbell's made the match. It's official. It's a co-main event at EDW's CrossFire live back at the Hive Friday, October the 19th. It will be Tyler Hazard taking on Joey Sanchez in a submission match. Now, going back to the... let's backtrack a little bit, basically. Talk about Tyler Hazard. Seems that, as of late, he's been on a crusade to take out Tom Campbell's army. He started off with Edwards a few months ago, and now he's turned his attention to Joey Sanchez. At the end of the last show, EDW's Night of Infamy, in their match when they met one-on-one, Tyler Hazard actually walked out on the match, resulting in a count-out victory for Joey Sanchez, only to return after the bell had already rung to interject himself, beat up Sanchez and put him in a Texas cloverleaf. Now, obviously, we've heard from Tom Campbell that Joey Sanchez has a few sort of submission moves of his own. We also know that in the past, Joey Sanchez can be as brutal and as violent as anybody I've ever seen. I mean, you know, you saw the Last Man Standing match with Jamie Future.
I did.
One of the most barbaric things I've ever seen. I don't know about yourself.
In EDW history.
Exactly. So, submission match. The rules are very simple, guys. No pinfalls, no disqualifications, no count out. The only way to win is to make your opponent submit. I firmly believe that this is not going to be a technical match. Just my opinion. What do you think about this?
Well, of course, it's not going to be a technical matchup. Let's not forget that Tyler Hazard has plenty of experience himself in hardcore matches or street fights. But the main thing we need to be concentrating on is the condition of Joey Sanchez's knee. I firmly believe that his knee didn't fully recover. And as Tyler Hazard said himself, he has put a bullseye on that knee and he is aiming for it as he sees that as his clear way of winning this matchup. Now, I know firsthand how ruthless Tyler Hazard is. I still remember ages ago when he laid his greasy paws upon me, for which the lawsuit is still in progress. Do you know how hard it is to get chip fat out of leather? But anyway, Tyler Hazard is a ruthless individual, and if he has said he's going to target that knee, Joey Sanchez, you better be careful.
When you walk away, nothing more to say. See the lightning in your eyes, see you running a fire. Lord of
Let's turn our attention to our guest host for this show, Mr. G. John Chase. Now, at EDW's Night of Infamy, you debuted your new segment, the G Spot.
Well, actually, it's G. John Chase's G-Spot.
Sorry, I stand corrected. How do you feel that it went?
Well, apart from the fact it was the most successful segment in EDW history, the question though is, how do you think it went, Simon? I mean, after all, the segment is for the benefit of you, and people like you, to see what it's like for a true genius. To showcase to you the true talent in EDW. Such talent as Davian Vane. Who, by the way, in the very first G-Spot, defeated Ian Rogers with the new, most devastating finisher in EDW, the Shining Wizard. And on CrossFire, you'll see the second edition of G-Spot, in which he'll showcase to you the second chapter of the wrestling textbook. And yours truly will be there with G. John Chaser in hand to showcase to you the true talent of Davian Vane. Exotic.
Now, you may have noticed I've been playing with a little something in my hands throughout most of our chat today. It's one of these. I'm disgusted that they've actually been selling these at the EDW stall at the front.
Throughout the ages, every dictator there's ever been has done whatever they could to keep their corrupt grip on power.
Cruz 2012. Templeton Cruz fancies himself as being the commissioner of EDW.
I want free, open, democratic elections so that people can decide who they want running their company into 2013 and beyond.
Cruz, Telford Businessman of the Year. Positions filled, son. Back to college.
I'm giving Campbell one more chance. One more chance to agree to my demands of a free, open, democratic election so that people can decide who they want running this great company. If he says no, then I'm guessing October 19th is going to be the start of my revolution. In Temp we trust. And vote Cruz in 2012.
So we've heard there from both our EDW Commissioner Tom Campbell and from Templeton Cruz. Now, Templeton Cruz, months down the line, is still fixated on the fact that the commissionership job is even up for election or for a vote. At the end of the day, this is Tom Campbell's job. He's been here since the very beginning. He lives and breathes the EDW commissionership. And anyway, even if the role did become a democratic vote, Templeton Cruz somehow managed to weasel it into that. Who do you think the fans, the EDW fans, the EDW locker room are going to vote for?
I think you'll be surprised with who the locker room would vote for. I mean, let's just reiterate something. Templeton Cruz is the Telford Businessman of the Year and the manager of the most successful faction in EDW. And look who he's up against. Tom Campbell. He is such a joke. I mean, let's just go over a few things, right? His best friend, Tyler Hazard, turned his back on him. Ryan Smile, another one of his boys, didn't show up at the war to settle the score to defend him and EDW. And families have been broken amongst the chaos that is his commissionership.
Another point to raise from Templeton Cruz. What does he mean about a revolution?
Well, I guess we'll find out on CrossFire. But either way, whoever gets the commissionership, they'll have the full support of G. John Chase.
Does anyone want to find out what Cruz means, guys? Come down and see us. Friday, October the 19th, EDW's CrossFire. Doors open at 7 PM. We have Joey Sanchez versus Tyler Hazard in a submission match and a huge main event to end the night. Tag team action. The two #1 contenders for the EDW titles, Mark Morgan and Edwards, will team up to take on the Players Club's team of the EDW Open Champion Joey Starr and the EDW World Heavyweight Champion, the infamous Jamie Future. Is anyone ready to find out who's going to come out of that, guys? We'll see you live back at the Hive October 19th. Mr. Chase, it's been a pleasure.
Whoa, you completely forgot about the most important thing. The second edition of my G-Spot. Hosted by very own G. John Chase. The G stands for genius.
Mr. Chase, thank you for being my guest host on this show. It's been an absolute pleasure. We will
Of course
see
it
you
has.
back at the Hive, guys, October 19th, EDW's CrossFire. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.
Can we get a better one of these next time?